Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever, whenever, however you all are. Welcome to Clobby's Comic Shop. How are you all doing today? It's good to see you all here on this Friday night. So let's acknowledge those faces. And you guys are a very active bunch, a very, very active bunch. And I like to see that. I like to see it. FKHC 2005 gives a heart for clobbering time because why would you not? Depot 101, Vince Womack. How's it going, Vince Womack? Stephen M. Kellel. How's it going, sir? Nice to see you here. Hello. Subhuman 84 late gay. Extremely late and gay. Apologies. Steve Mitchum, Eddie's Daddy, Jonathan Conroy. What's up, dudes? And of course, we are dual streaming on Rumble as well. I will post that link for you dudes for the men who like to have it both ways. What's up, Tim Hayes? King Conan by Crom. Hello. Oh, yeah. There's the Rumble link. Otherwise, if you want to stick it in YouTube, you can stick her on here. Or you can be Rumble exclusive. It doesn't really matter to me. It's a Burger King, have it your way type of style. But I'm glad to have you guys here. Last week, obviously, I did solo for an hour and 15 minutes. Earlier show, pre-Milwaukee Drive and Festival meetup with my local Chicago guys. And had a fun time. We stayed at the hotel where Jeffrey Dahmer did all his awful things, a.k.a. the Ambassador Hotel. We didn't visit room 213 at all because I'm not interested. But it was cool to say that happened as a thing. Also, I discovered the greatness of Quick Trip gas stations, which are amazing, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. Love them. Huge. Right? And I had the Alice Cooper poison burger. And holy shit, that burger was straight up poison. It was delicious. It was filling. But man, dude, it like that sauce, that had some serious heat. So if you're out there and you're like Alice Cooper, like the song Poison, that burger at Rock and Brew in Milwaukee is attached to this casino called the Potawatomi. I can't remember the proper pronunciation. But it was a great burger. Me and the guys had fun times. Ran to old Chicago peoples. Watched a ton of great bands. It was great. It was awesome. Food truck is cool too. One truck I went back to twice. That's a sign when you have a good food truck. If I go back twice. But it was cool. It's a great time. And I missed you guys though. It was great to, hang out and talk with people solo, but it's going to be good to have the band together. Have the Common Nerd here. Have Pablo here. And, from when that fest happened up until now, comics came out. And maybe some of them we'll talk about. Some I'll show off covers for because I got them, but I haven't had a chance to read them. But it's exciting. It's real exciting. Tim Hayes celebrates being a member for some months. Like, how's it going, Nick Weiser? It goes pretty good, man. I hope you are even better than I am. Earlier today, I took the kids Lilo and Stitch. We went to a local hot dog burger joint after, got ice cream cones. And the ice cream cones were supposed to be a small. Things were gigantic. I mean, I guess you could say in the age of the remains of Biden inflation, we maybe got our money's worth. But holy damn, dude, these things are gigantic. And my kid's like, Dad, do I have to save my food for leftovers? It's fine if you want to save your food for leftovers. I didn't realize these small cones were going to be gigantic. But yet, here we are. Oh, whoa, dude. D-Bud. Whew. For $32, dude. How's it going, D-Bud? Subhuman, I'll elaborate for year ago today was the last time I streamed with Clobby on this channel. We discussed on his channel. We discussed Iron Man 12 and 13, first appearance of the Controller. Love that villain. Still miss the big guy. Let's pour one out for our friend Clobby. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, next week I'm going to do my pouring out for him because last week was the last week I shared. But for you, D-Bud, that's the least we could do. For you, oh, dude. Yeah, we'll go big on that one. That's giganto, man. That, and seriously, oh, D-Bud, that you didn't have to do that. I thank you, but you did not have to send me. I would have happily done that for you, sir, for free. But that's insanely just. And I love how you stick with tradition. You and the number 32. So yeah, I'm happily going to pour them out for Clobby tonight and next week. Yes, it already has been that long since you passed. So I know, commenter, I know you're back there. I'll bring you in so you can at least be a part of this. But this is for our friend, man. This is for Clobby. So he's probably doing some, but for Clobby, guys. For Clobby. My goodness.
I'm gonna go grab a beer real quick.
Yeah, I like how he has a beer real quick. Oh man, this is huge. All right, well, he's getting his drink. I'll answer Subhuman. The Milwaukee Metal Fest is great. Like I said, I only caught 1 day's worth of bands. There's a few bands who are staying at our hotel. I'm not sure if they are ones you would know of, but they were saying, so it was cool to say that. But my highlights, like there's a ton of us. One was this band called Wraith from Chicago. It was Between the Buried. They're fantastic. And Death Angel and Demolition Hammer are fantastic. And then probably Exodus really solidified the deal for me. But you got your drink, sir?
I do.
You realize your voice is different, right? You're like, so like this.
Oh, did I hit the wrong button? Did I hit the wrong button? Is this one better?
How about this?
Oh, now you sound like a squeaky cartoon character.
There you go. That one there. Cheers to Clobby.
Wow. To Clobby. Even a common squeaky cartoony voice. Cheers, guys. You're delaying a little bit, by the way, too. Your camera's kind of delaying.
Probably.
My camera's holy cow.
Your voice is getting worse and you're delaying, but to Clobby, guys.
Cheers.
Jerry,
Cheers.
now you sound normal. Cheers, beers, to clobbering times.
Cheers.
For
Clobby. Yeah, there's probably a slight delay when I do the voice changer. Oh, that was the only thing I bought for myself for my birthday out of all my direct donations on Friday, because they got it on sale on Amazon for like $30 right now, and it actually does more than the one I was looking at for $45. So
I just thought of something, and I just thought of it right now. Next week, since last week was a year from what the last show we ever did with Clobby, either next week or the week after, we're gonna talk about Fantastic Four number 51.
Yes,
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. That's it. It's definitive. I'll no chat where I'm at in the next few days, so I'll make sure I alert you all, whether it's YouTube, community posts, Twix. I will let you all know so you know, but we're going to talk Fantastic Four 51 for Clobby. That's a very pivotal issue. Obviously, his avatar is based off that iconic cover. D-Bud, you're welcome to come on for that, even if it's just for that moment, but we'll make sure it's a good chunk of the episode to 45, 50 minutes so you get your times with if you want to come on. Otherwise, if you want to just be on the sidelines, as your usual listener, that's cool too, but just putting that out there. I know that's a very essential issue for all of us. So for me, that's the least we could do for Clobby 1 year later. It really is crazy. And I guess we could talk a little bit about what that was like on the last stream. So I don't know how many of you on the chat. Oh, what's up, Philip Demick? It's a huge weekend. It is great to see you, man. So for those of you who've heard this, I apologize for repeating myself, but for those of you who are now hearing this is very essential for me for the last time I talked with Clobby. And I feel like this is something that definitely bears telling even again. So the last time I talked to Clobby, actually, it was on this show, actually. I was from Dallas at my hotel on my phone. I think Common was on the show, too. Common was on the show as well. And I remember Clobby told me I was nuts for even doing the show. He said, you should be out partying. You should be having the time of your life. And Dust, like, dude, I'm not just going to cancel the show. He's just like, you're nuts. I was like, Clobby, I got to hang out with you guys. And I remember, like, there was something I could have done because I met up with Red Shirt, and Red Shirt, if you're out there, you can concur on this. We had met with a few other people, Horny Elf, Alec Baldwin's Finger, Drew, Outstanding Drew, the one who's paralyzed. And then we met up with Lila Hart, very nice lady, by the way, super nice lady. And she had offered all of us entryway into a comedy show. And I say, that's a very nice offer. Don't get wrong, it's tempting, but I have a show. I'm committed to the show. And I stay true to my show. I stay committed to it. And she was like, okay, it's fine. And no, it was cool. We're all, we mutually parted ways. And I did the show. And we did a little bit of like Steve Mitchell, it hasn't been a year. Yeah, no. It's right about there as to when he actually passed. But we were talking about the last time Debo was on his stream, also when I was on stream with him. But you are right, Steve. It has not been exactly a year. What was it called? So yeah, I turned down the Lila Hart show, which I heard was great, but I wouldn't know. Come back to the hotel room, do the show with you guys for an hour and a half, and then Clobby still at the show. I was like, you were crazy for even doing this. So I was like, nah, dude, I gotta hang out with the boys. Can't just forget about you guys. And it was fun. And then all of a sudden, I was like, hey, I love doing this. I love streaming with you every week, Clobby. And I do. And I was streaming with these guys as well for this show. Clobby, I saw 3 to 4 times a week between Clobby's when it was just called Comic Shop Talk, the 2 times we did Midnight's Edge After Dark, and whatever other show we would end up on, whether it was him on my channel, me on his channel, maybe him on Toxic Tuesday, or both of us on something else. Clobby and I saw each other so much. It was insane. It was awesome. It was like I knew I was only going to see him every week. We never did not talk for a week. And Common Nerd's camera froze, but it's kind of funny. I'm gonna screenshot it because this is amazing. Look at it. It's just like, oh, dude, that was great. Yeah, my last words of Clobby were, hey, I love hanging out with you, but I'm not going to skip the show. I'll see you next week. And unfortunately, I never did get to see him next week. I heard about what happened a few days later, coming back from Dallas, and that was when things obviously took a turn, which we won't go down that road again. But to me, it was just like I was expecting to see him, as always. So either way, when the names P Hard, Eternals, I wish Clobby right now more than ever. Clobby, I wish was here because especially when we got a Superman movie and a Fantastic Four movie coming out like on the way. I was thinking about, man, I saw the trailer for both those movies when I saw Lilo and Stitch when my kids are. I thought to myself, Clobby, 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 how I wish you were here for these conversations. I'm sure the rants on the lack of Ben Grimm New Yorker voice would be unparalleled. He would probably even put Mexican Iron Man and Az and Razor Fist to shame with the rants he would do about this trailer. It would be on a level unparalleled. It would have been something that historians would have had to have documented it. Absolutely documented it. And it would have happened too. Shell Bell's a surfer. Oh God, he would have tripped over with that.
Would have lost his mind over that.
Oh, dude. It would have been so fun. It would have been so fun. It would have been the time. And then me and Steve, we talked about in Vegas what Clobby would have thought of the Superman chair. It looks okay. It looks better than Man of Steel, but I'm not totally sold. But we'll see where it goes. Oh man, it was so funny to entertain what would have been done with Clobbering Times and Man of Steel. But good times and unforgettable times and stuff to look back on and laugh at. And guys, don't mind me, allergies. It's not cocaine.
It's not this weekend anyway.
No, believe it or not, I've never actually done cocaine ever.
Yeah.
Like ever. Yeah, never done cocaine.
I tried it one time at a party and I wasn't impressed. That was it.
Yeah. I've not one to have done like 800 different drugs. Like, I've done some weed here and there, but one time I had a 5-year gap where I didn't do any. But then other than that, it was just like, once or twice a year. It's kind of been that way for the last several years. And I think the last time I did it was like a year and a half ago, maybe. He would love seeing Crypto. Would want him to be bigger. I can hear
That's
that,
true.
and he would mention him not being a Labrador, which my oldest
Yeah, not being
Aria,
right.
she mentioned that. She mentioned that to me. That's the first thing she mentioned. Like she knows that right away that Crypto is not a lab. And I was just like, yeah, I don't get that. And she knows who Crypto. She's watched Superman the animated series. She's seen that Super Pets movie as well. So she loves dogs. She loves animals. She caught on to that right away. So she would know. She knows better. No, what was cool is when we were seeing the movie, like, and during the previews, she's like, "Can we see that Karate Kid movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take a Karate Kid with me next week." So now I gotta make sure I show her the original OG Karate Kid before I take her to Legends next week with me. And Makani draws for a $3. Hello. And our man here, he sends in a $3 super sticker, and I think it's a kitty. Looks like it's a kitty, and it's got the hearts fawning. Yeah, a Shiba. Oh, yeah, Shiba dog. Yeah. How's it going, Mock? Nice to see you here, man. It's been a bit, dude. I hope you're well. I lurk sometimes on your drawing stream, so I don't say much, but I'm around. So actually, I had not said anything, but I'm around. I'm trying to make you build that alluring, mysterious presence, like a shadow or something. But I'm
You don't
around,
always see
Fred.
me,
Good to
but I'm
see you, dude.
always
Seriously,
there.
a pleasure to see Makani draws. Hell yeah, man. I'm glad you're still at it too. Maki, I thought about you when I was in Vegas because I was talking with Zax. And Zax and I were talking about a lot of people who were starting, let's just say within our time frame. You may have been maybe a little bit before me, maybe a little bit after me, or maybe at the same time. I was 2020. And we were talking about how many people from around our that particular timeline, how many people started and how many people aren't doing it. And we talked about how we're some of the few guys that are still here, still actively doing it. And I would absolutely consider you one of the guys who started around that timeline, who's still here. And I love that. I respect that persistence, man. It was, proven that we're guys like that. We did this because we absolutely love this. Yeah, sure, some of us got some fun, some recognition, some money along the way, but we did this because we fucking love doing this, man. We freaking love doing this. Oh yeah, Adega Outlaw. Yeah, what's up, Adega? How you doing, buddy? Wax on and wax off. Are you talking? What are you talking about with wax on and wax off? I want to know. You gonna get a poke from Garrett's out with the dude, he would have loved the red truck. We all know that. He would not been a fan of the pads, and he would not be a fan of the lines and the collar. We all know about the collar too. And I'm not a fan of the color. No, I like the tone of the color of the color. So it's bright, which I like, so I'll give credit there. But we're gonna try to hold off on that conversation because we've gone down that road, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that Superman movie in a few weeks. But I will say though, say that again.
I was gonna say we should find some like good Superman comics to read, like the couple of weeks before, like the 3 weeks before, or something. Like I don't know if we can find like a good little 3-issue run of a little overarching story that's good, but like that'd be fun to do for like a few weeks or something, or like even just one night.
Yeah, I think we could pull off one night for sure. I think we could do. I'll look at my schedule right now, since I got out. We could probably just do literally. So we're not going to do a show on the 4th of July. I don't take it personal, chat. I do got kids. So gonna be celebrating my kids the 4th of July. But the week before, we'll do some Superman comics. It'll be great. Superman outdated character? No, not at all.
No.
If anything,
No,
he's more relevant than ever.
Speaking of relevant,
he's why we need with the way the world is going nowadays. We need a character like that more than ever. And I know some of you is probably being sarcastic or whatever. Probably. But in all seriousness, because my buddy Wes did a video on this. Why we need a character like Superman more than ever. The world has gone so freaking cynical culturally that we need someone to come in there and balance the tonality of the world out, and Superman, reflects the opposite contrast of all that, and we need to get to a point where we can be that. It doesn't mean you can't have a world where a character like Batman, rules the land, but we need to have Superman there to balance out Batman's broodingness. We need to have that because the world's gotten a little bit too much of Batman on the literal side and the figurative side. And I mean figurative meaning how everyone's just gone so dark and vengeful of everything. We need to have hope and optimism again, culturally as well as comic bookly. Hi, Pablo.
Howdy ho! Hey. Well, I guess I'm starting a new uh time of episodes without failing because last week I ended the streak. Sorry.
It's
I
okay.
didn't knew it was earlier and
I did say on the stream last. the
yeah,
week
yeah, yeah, yeah.
before.
I
It didn't say the
I
week
fully
before
spaced
that
out
it
on
was
that.
going to be early.
Dude. But anyway, I missed that one. I'm happy to be in this one because I don't know if you guys knew about this, but Twitter kind of imploded. And I mean,
Oh, I'm
messages,
aware.
yeah, messages stopped working completely. So
Oh, shit.
I get a notification that somebody was trying to get in contact with me yesterday via Twitter. I try to see my messages, don't work, contact support. They tell me that I should log out and log in again. Well, their two factor
Of course you did.
authentication also fucked up. So, guess what? I was locked out of my account for a whole day.
Fuck.
I,
Dude. Yeah, mine was only down for like 2 hours. So it seems like you got the shitty end of it.
Yeah.
I had a weird issue. My issue was like first my feed wouldn't work, but then when my feed started working, my messages stopped working. It was
yeah,
so
it.
strange.
I just had a black screen, so I go like, yeah, let's contact support. Let's see what I. Yeah, next time, don't contact support. They are as lost as you are.
Oh
You
yeah, forget that shit. Sorry,
But
Elon.
there's-
But if there's one thing that probably still sucks about your platform, it's probably the tech support. Probably.
it's kind of
I got my
funny.
Twitter nuked on. I got my Twitter nuked on Sunday.
Dude, I
Shit.
just noticed that a few minutes ago. What the hell happened?
Fuck if I know, dude. I was doing the Bible study and went in to look at my Twitter later that evening afterwards, and it said I tried to comment on somebody's post, and it gave me an error, and then it threw me you've been suspended for harassment and abuse. And
Wait,
I was like, what?
is there a point on the Bible that talks about cigarettes on the UK? Something like that?
Not in those kind of words that you're trying to avoid saying. No, not at all. But like, yeah, and so like I appealed it, and they were like, "Nope," and I'm like, "What? I've never done anything. Like, what? I thought we weren't banning people anymore." And of course, I didn't hear anything back. So yeah, so I've got a new one, the Common Nerds, just like the new YouTube channel. So I'm officially a culture warrior. I've had a YouTube channel nuked, and I've had a Twitter account nuked.
Yep.
So like, I'm
Man.
officially a culture warrior.
You know what was the funniest thing? I finally get my account back. I log in into Twitter. I see the first like 10 posts, and I'm like, "Huh, my life was better without this." So you are not missing that much without Twitter. I swear. Yesterday
Well,
was
my
a
problem
productive
is-
day, dude. I start because I had some free time. Obviously, I didn't know I had work to do because I could not see it because it was on Twitter. So, well, I didn't know I had work. I was breeding Pokemon. I got a shiny Metagross. I got a shiny Quillfish. Uh, it was a productive day. I did a lot of stuff, clean my room, dude. And I only go to Twitter when I'm on the shitter.
Well, I use Twitter for news gathering for all my articles, for my videos, and for my daily show. So that's what kind of fucked me up. And then when you're a brand new account, like they limit how many people you can follow and shit like that. So I'm like, come follow me so I can follow the rest of my news organizations that I need to do my job.
Oh, that's funny. Damn, dude. Oh, man. What's up, Mohammed said? Hail! I've read Fantastic Four issues 68 through 71 and ASM 34 through issue 38, and Uncanny X-Men 143 to 144, and Strange Tales 135 to 137. Nice. You know, and now that Pablo is here, I'm gonna bring it up because I brought up the common. We're looking at 2 weeks from now. Because we're not gonna, we might probably do a shortened show next week because I'll be in Dallas. But June 6th, Friday, June 6th, we're gonna talk Fantastic Four number 51.
Yeah.
Because obviously next week will have been the final year from when we had our last stream of Clobby on here. And since I'll be in Dallas for a shortened show, I want us, have our full attention for that rather than have a shortened show. So I want to give it our best foot forward. And June 6th, we'll make it official tonight. June 6th, we'll talk about that comic, and it's gonna be diabolically huge. I think we've already talked about it before, but fuck it, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. If we haven't done before, whatever.
We did was one of the last episodes of the show with the previous name because we did it in honor of Clobby. It was what I think the final episode of the previous version of the show. I'm a bit sad because what it means, but I'm pumped to read that again because it's such a good issue. It's such a good issue, man.
Yeah. You know what? We're I think you're right. We did do it, but you know what? Once again, I don't care. As soon as Nick has got my fridge. Oh God. Oh man. He's got my fridge family funny horse. No. I had already been planning with Wes because Wes from Thinking Critical is going to be there, and that's the main reason why I'm going because he lives in the Philippines. A lot of people don't know that, but Wes from Thinking Critical is from the Philippines. He's from America, but he met his wife out there, and then, well, not only did they get together, but they have an army of children, so he ended up staying out that way. And this is his first time coming back to America since he left for what was supposed to be vacation.
Wait, an army of children?
An army of children.
That can only mean one of two things. One, they are from the Congo. Two, they are the common nerd. Basically,
common nerd.
Yeah. You are either go full literal like some places in Africa, or you go the other route. Jesse, I think, is trying to repopulate the zone. Also, start his own team for football, for soccer, for baseball, and maybe for basket. I haven't asked. He says yes.
True.
He's also starting.
Everything Pablo just said is all 100% accurate. Yes. I am working on my own platoon. Okay, I'm working on my own platoon. Not even a squad. We're going full platoon here. Okay.
So, Wes, Thinking Critical, Philippines, went for vacation. Vacation became staycation. Got a wife, got several kids out of it. And his family has never been to America. So they're on their way, right? I think they're actually just landing in America, I think, today. And he's doing an extensive stay out here. And he's coming out. He's going to be out in Dallas by the time the Fan Expo hits. And I've been playing that. He had told me about that before. He was a lot more public about it in like the last month or two. I had known about this trip since last June. So last year, right around Fan Expo last year. So I had already kind of planned heavily. As far as like vacationing again, oh God, no, it's not going to happen. Maybe I'll do some with my children this year, which would probably be the case. Maybe I've talked about, the Dells, or maybe going to like a southern state like Nashville for like food or something. We've entertained ideas, nothing to fin, but nothing for solo Nick for at least that's not Dallas for I'd say about a year. So because Nick's got to continue focusing on the full on dad life. So that still is a thing that I keep my eye on the prize on. And we got Deepa 101 with a $1 Rumble rant. You guys are really killing all this cash today. Nice. Says, so I asked early tonight. Then I did a couple of weeks ago. Looking to get a gift for my bro. He won't read floppy, so looking for a paperback omnibus. Is there a name that I can get for him? Part 1. Oh, So there's a part 2 coming. Oh, I look forward for the part 2. What's that part 2 gonna be? Yeah, butter me up, Deeple.
Well,
butter me up. What's your
Katie.
part 2 gonna be?
Going a bit ahead of part 2, if you are trying to get something on hardcover, there's a couple of really good omnibuses for Spider-Man, especially the Ditko era. There's a couple of ones that are really good. There's some really good ones from DC for Batman. And if you are willing to go the Hellboy route, I will say there's a really good couple of issues, well, a couple of omnibuses that, well, are cheap now. So maybe if you feel so inclined, Hellboy is good. Just
Hellboy
saying.
is good.
Yes, Hellboy
I'm
is
waiting
good.
to see if he has
Hellboy is
anything
good.
specific. That's why I'm not jumping the gun. Yeah, I'm trying. But obviously, that said, though, you're absolutely right on your picks, Pablo. Per se, I just want to see if he's going to mention is there a particular thing he's looking for, and what where is he leaning taste wise. I want to know where Deepla is at. With here we go for the under dollar Rumble rant, like Hush or Born Again, or something you would deem as perfect for a nerd. Was looking for something from X-Men, in particular, since we both love the '90s cartoon BTS, Batman the Animated Series. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Now, obviously, Daredevil Born Again, that's easy for me to say because I am a Daredevil-aholic, and Born Again is obviously one of my all-time favorite stories, something I've talked about on videos, on streams. I've done a video on this. I've been on a few streams talking about it. That's easy for me to say, but since you mentioned X-Men, bro, I got you the two solutions right now. Wolverine, Chris Claremont, Frank Miller. This trade paperback alone is fantastic. I'll dig up an Amazon link of it for you, but we did a stream on it actually with Clobby a little over a year ago where we talked about it. It was like a 4-issue miniseries. Chris Claremont, Frank Miller, fucking awesome. And I love this art from Frank Miller. This is, to me, some of Frank Miller's stronger art. So that Wolverine story is one of them. The X-Men story, obviously, would be God Loves, Man Kills. If you can find that, I'm sure they'd make it in trade. I'm sure that they do.
I think there's a hardcover that is really good.
There you go. And there's a hardcover. So do one of those ones. God Loves, Man Kills is perfect because, yeah, you'll definitely see, like, there'll be definitely some political undertones to it. But for this story, it makes a lot of sense. And you do get both sides of extremism within this type of story as well. I would highly, like almost the highest recommendation for God Loves, Man Kill. And now, if you want to keep it free of politics, no matter what side or perspective, he says you're going too fast. Am I going too fast?
Oh, dude.
You guys are
You're
used
right
to me
now.
talking like this. So for
Okay.
you guys, this is probably normal for you guys.
I went
There
to
you go,
Amazon to
rewatch
check
it.
up prices. For $28, you can get X-Men Epic Collection, God Loves, Man Kills. It comes with X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 168 to 75. With Annual X-Men from 1970.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with several graphic novels, Wolverine 1 to 4, and more. You know what? X-Men Epic Collection, it sounds really good.
Okay, I just posted in the chat right here. This is the Wolverine, that edition. Chris Claremont, Frank Miller, and Philip A. Beat me to the comics. So, what makes the Wolverine maybe stand out as an inker? Yes, I was going to mention this, but you beat me to it. So, what's up? Respect. Frank Miller's art is so much better when he has someone inking his shit. When he's inking himself, it is nowhere as good. And I know that's going to be a very polarizing statement for some, but for me, he's so much better when someone else is inking his shit. What he does on the Wolverine stuff is straight up some next level exceptional shit. I highly recommend it. So for it, I would seriously, what's great too for the Wolverine series, you could just get into that one, man, and it's just in and out type of story. There's it's very easily accessible. and there's no prior knowledge needed. And thanks to Common Nerd, we can now post God Loves Man Kills as well in the chat. Thank you, Common. So posting that right now. So there's your 2 links, my dude. There's your 2 links. And then for a third $1 Rumble rant, he says, in general, we're primarily 90s cartoon nerds than comics directly. Also, I picked up Savage Sword of Conan paperback trade 1 through 3. 3 up on give as a future gift. His cat is Conan too. Nice. Which era of Savage Sword is that the old school era? I want to know, man. Either way, hell of a fine, because all the Savage Sword of Conan comics are fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. Thank you for your series of Rumble Rats, Sir Deeple. I do greatly appreciate that. Hopefully that answers your question. Gentlemen, I'll be right back.
We got
After
it.
these
No
messages.
worries.
After these
After
messages.
After
Dude.
a word from our sponsor.
I'm just browsing prices for some good old school X-Men comics. I will say Amazon link. Wait, what? I'm not that high.
Well, yes, you are. This is my Pablo voice. I thought this was pretty accurate, especially for your intro. Heidi-ho! See, I sound just like
Dude, I'm watching prices and there's some really good compilations for X-Men that are under $40. Anything that is I will say 10 issues or more for $40 is a steal.
Oh, yeah. Now, he said he thinks it's the current run of Titan. If it is, great. Even if it's not, dude, hey, either way, you're getting the classic. Like, you're getting some great shit with Conan. So that's what's up, dude. Just keep that in mind. You have nothing to be ashamed about. Hey, look, it's Brandon, the anime guy. He says, are you the Shadow or something? Do I need to play that clip? Oh, I don't have that clip. I got to get the clip anyways. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. Yeah, that's something we gotta do. We definitely gotta talk some Shadow on here. What's up, Keely?
Okay,
how you doing?
I have 2 things that I say we are kind of missing out because we haven't done that yet. One is the Shadow. The other one, we haven't done Before Vendetta yet.
Say that second one.
We haven't done Before Vendetta.
No, we have not done V for Vendetta.
I love that movie. I've seen it like 17 million
Well,
times.
the movie is interesting. The comic is quite different, I will say.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, they took a lot of liberties with the movies. Hey guys.
Hi, Fenrir.
Sorry I was late, Nick. I just got home from work a couple of minutes ago, saw the link, and I was eating one of those 3 cheeseburgers. So I had to keep priorities straight. Here's the burger.
Okay, I'm glad you finished the burger, man. I have no hard feelings about that. I respect you fulfilling your hunger needs.
He's fulfilling his meat desires.
He need to have his stack. He need to have a stack of his own meat. So I get it.
God, why does that sound so wrong?
Because it was intended to sound wrong. Absolutely intended to. Subhuman asked a great question, and it's something that I feel like we might have some different opinions on. He says, "Do you prefer floppies or trades?" I love them both. I'm gonna put it this way: I love them both. Now, I do prefer the floppies. Now, I have some buddies of mine, like my buddy 24/7 Fusion Media, and I think Gary Nerd Rock. Both of those guys, they're now a fan of trade paperbacks. They hate it. I love the format because, for certain story arcs, it's really good. Also, some issues are hard to find, and that kind of solves that problem of those single issues that are a pain in the ass to find. Like, I got some buddies who got some money. I mean, they got money. And there's single issues that they are having trouble finding. It's not a money issue; it's a finding it issue.
Yes.
So, I for one love that part of it. Now, as far as the experience of storytelling, I love the floppies. Yeah, you heard it here first. He loves them floppies. Yes. Why do I like them more? especially for the Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse 20, 24 page format. I love it because I love the idea of waiting a month for the next issue. And with the next issue, I love having the cliffhanger. I know a lot of people like having something, starting it and being done with it and moving on to next thing. For me, it was never about that experience. It was about me growing and investing with the story and letting the issue
Yeah,
sit with me for an entire month. And that's something that only that's something only the floppy can give that the trade couldn't, is
Nick.
that experience of the cliffhanger and such like that. And of course, then there's the comic book smell. And my old heads, the D Buds, the Stephen M. Callels, those guys, they're gonna know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the comic book smell. That's a shit we've all said, hey, they need to make a deodorant of that shit. That is where I would be like, bro, I live in that deodorant. I wouldn't want to do anything else with my life. Anything else with my life. But there are some of the Indiegogo stories, Fund My Comic Kickstarter, Rippaverse, or they are leaving out cliffhangers for these longer stories, which is cool to see. I do like that, so I do respect them for doing that, and they're trying to leave those floppy type of endings, but for trade size story. So I do appreciate that aspect. Oh, he had two In-N-Out burger double. Dude, that's amazing. I want In-N-Out again. When I had it with Steve Mitchum, it was really good. It's actually better the second time it was the first time. First time I had with Matt from Fallball was pretty good, but second time with Steve Mitchum, dude, it's perfect. It's just
Nick,
perfect.
what you were saying about the feeling and everything, yeah, I will say floppies
That
have,
sounded really wrong, but
yeah,
go on.
floppies have the best feeling of all, especially on your hand.
He's not wrong.
Phrasing.
Though.
But sometimes you need something that is
No
more
homo phrasing.
complete and harder. So it depends.
Dude, phrasing.
Giggity, giggity.
Well, obviously I'm messing around, but I'm kind of being honest. The feeling of the floppy comic book is way better. Even the sensation of you changing from one issue to the other, picking up and leaving the other, it has a feeling. It has an analog, tangible feeling that is absolutely amazing. That's the perfect experience for a comic book. That being said, whatever lets you read the story, that's the best medium.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
true.
At the end of the day, you do what serves your needs the best. These are just personal things I have as far as my reading experience. But yeah, I have both. Like I'm looking at my shelf, and there's a good amount of trades, and there are some writers who do benefit writing for the trade. But then there's also far many more writers who don't benefit from that format. So obviously, that's a lot more of a con to a lot of the newer writers. But that's once again that's a whole other thing. The best part of floppies is cutting the coupons now. Holy shit! I just Folgers that shit, and it worked in timing with that. That was all on the fly, Philip. You just caught Nick in rare form with that one. Floppies
Wait,
in and out. What JT Kirk says. What you want to have in and out with Steve Mitchum, dude? Better. I had In and Out with Steve Mitchum. Steve, if he's still in the chat, he can confirm we had In and Out. That's what's up.
Nick, can you highlight David Martin's chat? Because I understand that is the other way around. He says,
No,
no,
the next one.
the other one. At my
The last
age,
one he
I
did.
don't want floppies anymore. Just hardcovers. I thought it was the other way around. Normally, with the age, you start to get more floppies and less hardcovers.
That's why all he wants is the hardcovers now. 'Cause he knows he deals with floppies all the time.
She needs
He
the
just wants
blue
a
cover.
hardcover. He wants it hard.
Oh,
that is fucking great.
that was freaking amazing. Which, by the
That
way,
is also sexual.
oh yeah, what's cool too is like with the trade format, you get obviously the paper is stronger. Don't get me wrong, I love the paper and floppies. That sounds wrong.
Yeah.
But there is nice to have that stronger paper for the trade. So, and there are certain stories, if I like them that much, I'll have it both. I'll have it both ways. I'll have it both ways with my story. I want it in the floppy, and I want the thick trade or the hardcover. Everything about this sounds really insanely gay, but every now and then you can enjoy it both ways. And comics is one of those rare forms where you can do that and get away with it. So the
I
best
should
part of
really
the
get
good
KFC
food
tomorrow.
now is having it in your mouth. From Philly Chow.
Giggity. Giggity.
Well, how the fuck did I just do that twice? Lightning's not supposed to strike twice. Wow,
Sometimes
that
you
will
just get
not. I will
lucky.
not hit 3-peat. By the way, I will not. So don't try to push it. That I got lucky at that twice. One was a
Yeah.
fluke. Trades are good. Oh, dude, right? Yeah. When I do travel, like next week, like I was originally gonna fly out to Texas next week, but I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna drive. So now I can't bring a comic to me to read on plane. But oh well. Maybe I'll buy some because I do want to meet Ryan Otley, who drew Battle Beast. Obviously, did the regular Invincible series.
Oh man, you guys saw the comic? Pretty cool
Oh,
start.
dude, Battle Beast is insane. It was fucking awesome. It was seriously fucking awesome. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Between that, last week's Huck, Big Bad World, dude, Huck was fantastic. It was a heartbreaker too. I
Dude,
talked a little bit about last Friday. Pablo,
Yeah,
you read
he's too
Huck,
good
right?
for this world.
the fact that the original one had a lot of that feeling of innocence from Hawk. They went really hard on showing you his innocence, his childlike persona, and they start by making maybe one of the biggest steps on a boy becoming a man ever possible, having your heart break and understanding that sometimes women are just that horrible and it's not your fault.
Mm-hmm. I was shocked that Mark went for that type of thing right at the first issue because the rest of the issue is very super heartfelt. And there's obviously, he's setting up things that will
Mhm.
obviously, play out through the duration of Big Bad World. But to have Huck experience that situation right out the bat, I was like, oh, fuck. That hurts, man. I felt Huck's pain during that moment.
Yeah.
I felt that shit. And I thought to myself, oh man, I don't know if that's gonna work for those who didn't read the previous series, but I've been hearing about people who are jumping on who've never even read the previous volume, and they're like, dude, this is a really powerful first issue, and that was a heartbreaking ending to that first issue. But man, Mark was like, I'm going to find a way to justify why we need this series. I know Pablo had some skepticism on it. I think he just showed us why we need it. We need to show our man go through some real shit. And sometimes you get to know someone better when they're being put through the shit that challenges them. Huck, I think, is going to be in a position where he's going to be really challenged physically and, of course, as we're seeing the first issue, emotionally.
Yeah, but it's a logical sequence. The previous one was learning how to not be as trustful of everybody while still being a good man.
Mm-hmm.
So they have everything by making him think that he has a brother and all that, and they break his heart so many times, and he learns not to trust randomly strangers and still be a hero, still be the good guy that goes and tries to save everyone. And uh, the the final panels on the last issue of the original Hawk kind of show you that he is going through that transition by being part of a bigger world, being in a city, being part of something way more mature, but
Uh-huh.
he's still a child, and
Oh, yeah.
they are taking the steps to make him uh, be in the position of a man. And the best way is through the heart, because when you feel the loss of people, when you feel betrayal, when you feel the pain of a relationship ending, all those things make you harder. But that doesn't need to take away if you are a good person, the fact that you are a good person. It just happens. It's part of life, it's part of being. And Hawk was shielded from the reality of being by just being aloof of reality, not being part of reality.
Mhm.
No, he's part of reality, and he's taking his position on life. Remember, he is not taking care of his mother. He is no well. He was trying to form a family. He is evolving as a man, and part of that, yeah, is having your hair broken, is
Yeah,
being destroyed. And the
dude.
fact that there's a mission still coming, and we know there's a mission coming. They
Oh
show
yeah.
us the mission. They show some parts. There's some things that they show that we know whose character is from
Hmm.
other things. So we know who's coming. We know exactly what's happening now.
Yeah.
But for that mission, you need a man.
Yeah, and he's gonna probably function a little differently since he's now dealing with his true first heartbreak, and how that's gonna make him handle these fights when he's not in his best state of mind as he is 99% of the other time. We're gonna see him really be tested, and hopefully he's gonna really see how can he handle these situations when he's in a stress that he's never recognized his entire life. I'm excited to see where this goes. And dude, can we talk about
Yeah.
how great Raphael Albuquerque's art was this year? I mean, it was great in the first go around, but I seriously think the dude got better a decade
There's
later.
that
And
panel
he
where
still
Hawk
got
is
the same
running.
colors too. Still same colors too. Dave McKay.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's that
Yeah, there
panel
was-
where Hawk is running that you see everything.
Mm-hmm.
It is just absolutely amazing. And that's it. It's just the art flows well. Everything has that still levity that it used to have. The art has not changed. It has just become better, more refined.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everything feels right. Everything feels exactly as it should, which is weird because I'm not accustomed to that. Normally things have problems. This one doesn't. I don't know if I should be worried.
No, I have a feeling Mark is going to keep our boy. It seems like Mark recognizes that Huck has his fans, and I think he's going to make sure to take care of this boy because it seems like it was a character that Mark has grown attachment to because of the circumstances he created this character as well. So I feel like he recognizes why he created this character and the place where it came from for him because it came from we'll just say, not to go down a rabbit hole I've gone down a million times, it came from a Superman problem. We'll just leave it at that. It came from a particular Superman problem. For those who know. For those who don't, you can look it up on your own time.
When you say it like that, it sounds like when in South Park, Randy takes his daughter everywhere because she has a marijuana problem. It's like,
No.
what's your problem with marijuana?
No, I get what you're getting at, but no.
That's
He
funny.
had a
but
Superman problem. What's your problem with Superman?
Huck, it seems like a character he's making sure to take very delicate
Yeah.
care of, and I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that, and I have a really enthusiastic feeling coming out of this first issue. We're gonna have a great story to tell throughout 2025 in this 6 issue miniseries, and I'm really happy about that. It really does make our planet a little bit brighter, knowing that we got Huck again in a series. I'm happy about that. This week, I got it today in the mail, even though I haven't read it yet because I was with my kids at the movies, but I got the Atlantean #2 in. And before I go on about my other books that came in, Deepa 101 for a $2 Rumble Rant. 2. He says, floppies are better until you hit that dreaded cliffhanger. Those bastards are insufferable. Unless you magically have the next issue on hand. I hate waiting for the next chapter. It's so frustrating. Yeah, and see, and I get your point on that. For me, I love that way because for me, once again, it comes from that position of I love letting that comic that I have for 1 month really sink in, give me to think about, rereading it, maybe picking up on things I may have missed the first time, soaking in the story, soaking in the art over and over and over again. So that was something I love that because to me, cliffhangers hit better when you actually have to wait on the cliffhanger rather than just get it right away. So that is my stance on the cliffhanger and why the floppy represents that particular
Yeah,
writing
but
formula better.
this is the
Is
yeah
Mark planning
but
on
moment
doing?
because sometimes the cliffhanger is excellent. Then they take like 3 or 4 years in giving you the next issue, and you don't really remember what the shit happened, to be honest. So there's a good timing for a cliffhanger. If you are going that route, if you are having a cliffhanger, at least let it be so fast that people can remember what happened, so
Uh-huh.
slow that people need to have that expectation. They get that feeling of what comes next,
Mhm.
but that feeling uh, it disappears really easy. So I will say for a comic that is going rapidly, a month, good time. For a comic that it'll take time, is something that takes a lot of art, 6 months, okay, that's a respectable time. After a year, pray that people come back. Just pray that people come back. That
Mhm.
happens a lot with the indies.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
No, I can see your point on that. Yeah, I
is
well once
is
again, I like what the trade has done. If he could get someone in the comics, I'm not gonna argue as well. I get why some people they want to have that soy fish. For me, the cliffhanger is what helped me mold into the medium of comics. I feel like comics, their storytelling benefits from that cliffhanger because that's what makes you invest in the stories, the progressions, the characters. I feel like comics serves those cliffhangers the best. Steven, I'm not a fan of cliffhangers, honestly. It's like if someone types in the concept but never finish. I get what you're saying there. See, and yeah, and I just maybe that's me. I love it that way. I do, and I like when to say, hey, this gets me want to find out what happens next, especially if it's a story that I like. That shit works a charm on me. So I love that part of it. I can see why it drives some people nuts, but for me, that shit I won't let go of. And I won't. I won't. But no, I got the Atlantean #2 today. I can't wait to read it. Obviously our buddy Russ Leach drew it. He's been a guest on here twice. We will have him back again on here soon. And I fucked up not having him on for the campaign for this go round with the Atlantean. It was just lack of timing. But our man here had a rare, like he had a drunk 3PO like campaign. You're thinking, what do you mean drunk 3PO like campaign? He had
nice.
one of those, and it seems like some guys already know what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about in terms of the money is made, because obviously it was not. What I'm talking about, he had one of those rare campaigns where he beat his previous number from the campaign before. Now, sure, it wasn't his all-time
Nice.
best when he was doing the Shadow Kingdom, but from the Atlantean 1 to the Atlantean 2. So the Atlantean 1, he was around 143 backers. This time around, he had
Nice.
162 backers, and
That's
that's
awesome.
fucking awesome.
Nice.
And I just got in today. I'm definitely gonna read in tomorrow. I'm really, really excited about this. I got former Conan writer Charles Santino to co-write with Randy Zimmerman. Russ does the pencils, and this is a black and white, large size magazine. Really stoked about reading that. I can't wait. And of course, Red Coat #12 came out this week. Sadly, I still have not read it, but I'll tell you what, man, the wraparound cover for that shit is glorious. It's so fucking glorious. I read Vatican City #2, really enjoyed it. I really enjoy Narwhal's art much more as well. And of course, Zaylan, What Kills Must Die from Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett at the Rippaverse was fantastic. Joe Bennett's art with Marcos Martin's pencil, by the way, is
Haven't
the
read
chef
it
kit.
yet, but I am not against spoilers because I am very curious.
It's fantastic. I love
Speaking of
it. I
spoilers,
absolutely loved it. What's up, Caster?
we can't hear you.
He boomered it already.
You boomering it already, fool. Ain't nobody can hear you. Hit the mute button. Turn it off.
Well, he gets his microphone issues solved. JT Kirk, you will love Zaylan. I really enjoyed it. Nice, straightforward story. Great Joe Bennett art. And this is Joe Bennett on his best day type of art. It's Joe Bennett on his best day type of art. So you want to read it. You absolutely do. And I definitely look forward to getting that cover D trade that has the wraparound cover. So even though I was tempted by that Frank Fosco cover, because Frank Fosco did art on TMNT way back in the day, which, speaking of TMNT, do you guys remember when we talked about that TMNT story that got started but never finished? Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that? We talked about a while back. You guys probably don't even remember.
I think that was after we have
The last Ronin stream.
the last
we
running,
talked
and we
about
had
it.
Ben Bishop liked our show and everything. I remember that.
I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks, but the name escapes me.
Good. We're getting somewhere then. So Peter Laird, I'll refresh our chat here. I talked a little bit about it last week when I was sold. So if you guys remember, great. So Peter Laird did a comic series just called TMNT, not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, TMNT. It was a Mirage book, like the original volume, followed that canon from the original, except it was just Peter Laird writing it. And one of the issues with the series was the very sporadic release schedule. The release between issues was far. If anyone's watched Razor Fist's video on Razor versus Comics TMNT, he talks a little bit about his time working at a comic shop. Yes, Razor Fist worked at a comic shop too, along with D-Bud, along with Clobby, along with Gary Nerdrog. Razor Fist worked at a comic shop too. And he talked about how he would forget new issues of this was coming out because of how sporadic the release schedule was. And the last issue that came out was in 2014. The previous issue before that, was 2010. 4-year gap. And now
Remember
you
what
take
I said about taking your time between cliffhanger and the next issue? That's the problem.
And see that to me, that's the thing. Marvel and DC, for all the flaws that they have, they were good about solving a lot of that shit. It was not having people wait. Obviously, there's a few exceptions to the rule on that, but they were very, 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 very fewer compared to Image, Dark Horse, etc., etc. So that's where TMNT. Mirage. Now, TMNT Mirage, that's a TMNT problem. TMNT has always had delay issues. Always. Even the last Ronin, there's delay issues, which, I don't care, really. I'm not bugged by much. To me, as long as you tell people, it's whatever. As long as you're transparent, then whatever. We're not going to go down that route into the semantics of it. I just don't care to. But you get my point, chat, about TMNT. So, anyways, yes, it has been 11 years since the last issue, and now IDW is finally going to release the last several issues. We'll see, like 5 or 6 issues left, and they're finally going to put them out individually, one by one, and then put it into an edition. It'll be called TMNT Legends. And of course, it wraps up the rest of Peter Laird's story from that run from Mirage over a decade ago. So he says, Peter Laird, yes, the series is finished. It's finished. It's coming out. The issues are coming out starting this August. I'm actually looking at the cover right now for the first issue, even though it's technically not the first issue, but we we get the point. You know, I may have to go to the evil bleeding cool just to give it, but you know what? Fuck it. No, whatever. Anyways, while I'm getting that up, I'll let Ironcaster say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah, I got a new piece of tech on your recommendation, and for the 5 minutes I've had to play with it, it's been fun to toy with. There's a bunch of new buttons on there. I gotta quite work it into the new setup, but maybe it's time for a refresh of things.
Okay, well, before we go anywhere, Ironcast, I need to ask, where are my 2 pills?
Blue pills.
That explains why I'm so high.
I was supposed to share those.
Whoopsie.
What's the point of the shades if you're not gonna give it? God damn it!
Wow.
I have a link for gummies for you, Geekology. Or no, I mean Fenrir. I've got a gummy link for you.
Holy shit!
And last
I
time
don't
I
need
took
a
a link
link
from you, I
to-
ended up in places I don't want to go back to.
I don't
little
need a
places you
link
still
to
enjoyed.
gummies. I have the real deal right here, right now. I was actually trying to unclog one of the conducts of the vaporizer because, well, the real deal is a bit sticky and sometimes clogs
It
things.
stinks.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
So yes, they're considered lost TMNT comics to finally be reprinted, which I don't think they actually ever were printed, unless they were printed and never released to stores. You can put it like that. But yes, the series is gonna finish the last trade. It's coming out, guys. It's about freaking time. It took a long damn time to get to this point, and it's coming out. And Jim Lawson's art. It's a great cover, by the way. Look at this cover.
Dude, now that I read the
That's
chat,
fucking cool.
obviously, James Cameron, Avatar, and everything, there's a lot of people burned by things that never come out or come out too late. I finished watching Tulsa King last week.
Don't
So,
spoil because I still need to watch season 2.
Season 2 is absolutely amazing. Here is
Good.
my only issue. Stallone is really, really old on the end of that season, and they need at least a couple of seasons to wrap all that they are setting up. They need to hurry. They really need to hurry. This is a good story. They need to finish it with the Stallone. Sorry, Disney. Dude, I never thought I will say this is the best thing that the Stallone has ever made. After so many years, when he's 70 something, no, this is the best thing that the Stallone has ever made. Trust me, this is the best. Fucking good series, man.
Kind of wonder, could I take him on in a fight?
No fucking way, man. He is
Even old man
70 something and
Stallone
this
is
is
gonna
still,
kill us all.
dude, he throws people like they are ragdolls. And it's not a double because they make sure you see the face. They make sure.
I mean, dude, he's nearly 80. At some point, you probably got a shot, right?
Dude, that man is relentless. That man is how I want to be when I'm 40. And I'm 36, so.
Nice.
Still, it's good to dream.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So guys, I'm happy this TMNT situation's getting solved. Huck is great. Battle Beast is great. Can't wait to read the Atlantean. Zaylin, What Kills My Style was fucking fantastic.
We were talking about V for Vendetta for a minute, right?
Were we? We may have brought
Yeah,
up and
way
we
earlier.
just went off on our
I say
tangent.
that we maybe need to
we
take a
haven't
look at
talked
that.
about it. Yes.
Yep.
No, we do need to consider that. We do.
Because I'm looking forward to that because there was a lot of difference between the movies and the books that I really would like to bring up.
What? Let me see the calendar for November this year. Just a second. And God damn it, Friday is 7th. If it was 5th, it would be perfect. Because remember, the 5th of November.
Remember? I feel like we're doing the South Park thing. Remember?
No, the day of gunpowder
Remember?
treason and blood. There is no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Be forgot. That's right. Oh, that movie. I love it.
By the
Can't
way,
believe how much different
there's
it
a
is.
lot of people that think that Anonymous took the mask from that movie. Yeah, it was not that. We used to joke on 4chan about a comic book strip that was called Epic Fail Guy, that was just a stick figure with the Guy Fawkes mask. And
Nice.
he always fucked up, so he never win. And we started to say, well, everybody here is kind of like that. That was the birth of Anonymous. Sorry
It's
to
like,
tell
look,
you, but yeah.
we could be out there. We could be out in the world getting shit done, but instead we're on an internet forum, just complaining.
Yeah, memeing with that shit and memeing about Scientology. That started the whole thing. 2012, it went to shit. Anonymous now, nothing like we used to be, baby.
Wow.
The future.
Yeah, the
Dude.
future.
Guys, we haven't done it since the beginning of the show. We're gonna do it again
Can you
now.
imagine giving? Can you imagine building a time machine, a DeLorean, going back in time and telling a bunch of World War II vets right in the trenches what the future entails? God, it would be so hilarious to watch their faces.
Telling them about all the mindless gender bullshit that gets argued about.
Nah, fuck
They'd
that.
be
You get that
pissed.
DeLorean, go back, buy the shares from Google, come back here and lament that, well, you're still a billionaire, but they kind of fucked up most of your money that you didn't have
No,
when you went back. So
You're thinking too hard about this. You just have to lean in and explain segregation.
Ah,
which one? The real one or the one that they started in 2016 with Ghostbusters? Because that one was fun. Well, not really.
Wow. I don't know.
Dude.
don't-
Oh, wait. I thought you were in the loop on that. Between Sana Amanab and all those shitheads on comics, they were talking about how we need to start some segregation because people need safe spaces where they can be alone between themselves. And I was like, yeah, they kind of tried that on the. Well, you had a war because of that.
Yeah, no kidding. We don't need to have
God,
another.
I can't believe we all predicted this would happen, but God
was-
damn it, it's so hilarious.
It was comic book assholes that were working on Marvel and DC that were talking about that shit. That's why I kind of got exasperated with them, because I can take, if you do a bad product, I can just not buy it.
Mhm.
When you make a bad industry, well, no, it's my problem. Sorry, no, I have to say something.
Now
Yeah.
I have nothing to buy from you. Instead, I'm off printing and painting my own little miniatures. Which
There's a lot of people pressing me to get into 40K. The issue is that
Yes.
right now I cannot even spend on Magic the Gathering. So more crack.
so
There's,
Here,
there's
I'm gonna
comics.
show off-
Read there's comics. Read the comics. Read the books. You can still get into it without playing with the miniatures.
Miniatures.
speaking of
He
miniatures,
just likes
this is
I guess
This is an orca. I do.
Get it up.
There we go. Oh,
It's in
this
his
is what my little-
hand. Go ahead.
It's a mini, guys. It's and the worst part is it's not a grower.
No, it's not
It's
gonna
not
get you bigger
shower.
than that.
Or is that its strength?
There we go. Oh, we turn it. What is this all focused on?
I am big in
That
you,
looks
by
pretty
the
good,
way.
man,
I was
Caster.
told by a few men in the chat to enhance you. So we're giving you
Yes.
natural male enhancement in your hands.
So
Looks really
That looks
it-
pretty good.
Oh,
This
so
is-
all that spam on my mail really works?
dude. Well, if you look at the strain, it looks really big in Ironcaster's hands.
So
It
this
looks
is the orc
crazy.
I was painting.
huge in his
This is an orc I was painting up, who I've called Dr. Kilvorkian, because I think it's funny to have an entire squad of like painted up army painted up, a bunch of orcs all painted up like military camo, and then there's one in just like doctor scrubs.
What's his accent?
Oh, of course they got to be British.
Yeah.
Well,
I
All
mean,
right,
yeah.
you slummy gits.
I thought you were talking about the dentures.
I don't know what he was talking about. I just know he was talking about the stuff.
There are words coming out of his mouth.
Yes, there are the words coming out from the mouth.
It always surprised me how many different realms of geekery there is. So you are talking between geeks, you are talking between nerds that you can see they know all the basics. And when they start talking about their niche, you just hear static, you just hear white noise. There's nothing there, there's no words, there's only, okay, I know they are talking. I have no fucking idea what's happening.
So the big thing to also point out as well is when a lot of these hobbies get to that point where they're trying to chase a new audience. The hope for them ultimately is that they're going to be able to get enough of them to lead into it. I mean, Warhammer right now is kind of doing that. Comics have certainly been trying to chase the new audience, ignoring the fact that their audience is are all 35 and have a mortgage.
Yeah, same with Magic. They keep trying to get the kids. For some reason, last time they got kids in Magic, there were people that went to jail. So yeah, maybe maybe it's better that we are a bunch of old bastards and not kids.
Don't forget the cock magic stuff.
So, anyway, the ultimate hope is that they want to get those new people in the door who are just going to hear all of us old fags over here complaining that are just going to say, hey, it was just, it was better. It was better the way we had. And they're like, yeah, Grandpa, we're just over here enjoying our new stuff. Don't worry. Like, your edition is still there. Don't you can keep playing 8th edition, nerd.
Dude, I've been seeing the new campaigns they've been getting out of D&D. Yeah, I don't think kids are dropping in on that. I mean, have you seen the new stuff they've been bringing out? Proms, pronouns, all this. Trust me, most teenagers aren't into any of that crap.
That's why
Unfortunately,
my son plays almost every week, and they all play homebrew campaigns now.
Yeah,
Him and all of his friends play homebrew. They don't get anything
Sure,
from
but
the coast anymore.
For Christ's sakes, most of their arts is literally just California.
Cass was trying to say something.
I was trying to ask you a somewhat important question there. Yes, they're doing their own homebrew systems, but what system are they running with? Because that's a different matter altogether. Are they using the Wizards of the Coast stuff, or are they trying some other?
They're either using Pathfinder or 5e.
I mean, ultimately, Pathfinder is just as woke, if not more so. But ultimately, people are kind of doing their own things.
Also, that's the reason why books from 5th are actually going really high on price because, people prefer those and prefer the rules that they used to have on 5th. So,
well, it seems to me that in that particular hobby, where all the attention is going isn't necessarily straight to Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons. It seems like it's starting to spread out more. One of the games that I've been seeing kind of getting a lot of low buzz, but constant, is a game called Fabula Ultima, which is inspired by classic RPGs like Final Fantasy, like your turn-based stuff like that.
You share me the books are actually really good. The system is quite similar to old school dungeon crawlers. So if you are a fan of old school RPGs, yeah, I can see you getting hooked on that instantly.
I've got a group that plays on Thursday nights. I have like 8 players who all like said they want to play.
Yeah.
It is like trying to herd cats at times.
Wait, what are you trying to do with those cats?
Herd them.
Ah,
Well, at least it's not like the rumors. Dude, in my city, there's always these rumors that the Chinese restaurants are the reason why cats disappear. Once I'm
Dude,
sitting
that's
in a
pretty much everywhere.
yeah, I'm sitting in this restaurant and we just order and we hear a cat crying, and all I could say is like, well, at least it will be fresh.
I literally grew up hearing every single Chinese joke about them eating cats and dogs imaginable.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, they actually do that in some parts.
Dude,
You
South
know-
Korea does kagogi, and it's dog.
I
Yeah,
was thinking more
some-
on the south of my
Most
city, but
stereotype
yeah.
jokes originated from truth somewhere, at some point.
Yeah, a lot
So-
of them.
So the big issue, for example, Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons has the fact that they've killed the trust of the audience. People, frankly, aren't trusting them, especially the people that have been here for a while. Like, no one trusts them thanks to the OGL debacle, thanks to the Pinkertons. There was like a solid 2 years where every single week there was a brand new like controversy that happened, and
They still have
all it did was
Pinkertons.
it became the single best advertisement for every bit of competition. And one of the best RPGs that came out of that was a game called Shadow Dark. This great woman, it's a nice woman who's gone and made the game, who was kind of been around in the early days, and she dropped a Kickstarter and like raised like $1 million in no time flat, and it's been getting tons and tons of traction. She just dropped the second Kickstarter, and again another $1 million campaign. Then you throw on top of that the fact that sales numbers just aren't doing so hot for the new edition of D&D without any justification for why should people make the change. They failed to convince people to buy it. Like, well, why should I go for this not new edition if my books still work? They failed to make that case.
Exactly.
They failed to make the case for the VTT. There's been so much failure after failure there, and at this point, I'm surprised if Hasbro doesn't like try to license out D&D to have someone else run it.
They are
Surprise me
actually,
at this point.
yeah, they were looking for people to buy the
Balls.
license.
Well,
A couple of
one of the other things they also did as well was they got rid of they got rid of the Portuguese version. They don't publish that anymore for Brazil.
same for Magic.
Yeah, if they're cutting out languages, they're cutting out those markers that just don't sell.
Chinese, they could some. I don't know if every single set on Chinese, but some sets didn't have Chinese releases out of late. There's a couple of things that are they are trying to do to get people back into Magic the Gathering. That I think, yeah, they look cool right now. There's a card that I need in one of my decks because it's absolutely broken. It will destroy the format. So sorry, I need it because it's the kind of thing that people that have zero issues making your life miserable play, like me. But that means that there's a lot of people that will have miserable experiences and will not go back to the store. And those are the people that they are trying to get by selling Final Fantasy and Spider-Man and shit like that on Magic the Gathering. The old bastards, yeah, we were there for
Amazing
Magic,
how
not for-
Magic today has no identity.
Absolutely none.
It just it
There's
ultimately
something
amazes me to
magical about
see-
that.
It ultimately amazes me to see all the efforts that the fans will go out of their way to step up and try to do what they want to put out into the market what they want. And I think another example of this, and this is something kind of close with Warhammer, is a free rule set called One Page Rules that's been out there. It's been publishing tons and tons of miniatures. It's got a rule set that's obviously free. And this past week they came out and announced they're putting the game out in 5 additional languages. So it's getting more and more international play. It's starting to garner a little bit of attraction. It's been a lot of fun, and it got me now like starting to pick up more paint to have some fun that way.
Yeah. Dude, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
shame because
Which sort of explains why I haven't had a chance to read my comics this week, even though I did stop by the shop.
Nice.
Kinda
Yeah.
does.
I
But
only
yeah,
had Vatican City and Redcoat. I read Vatican City, which I enjoyed. Still need to read Redcoat. But I'm excited about next week having. Next week I have Saturday Morning Adventures TMNT. I have Void Rivals and GI Joe, which this time the Cobra Commander artist is going to be on GI Joe for the arc, which I'm excited about. Yeah, so that will be cool. That will be very cool. I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it, Rooney. Nick just smiled now, like you know what's going on. Right? I don't have shit, so I'm just in the zone, drinking booze, doing shit that I don't normally do, just so I can let these guys have at it with their tangent. You guys can keep going. Go ahead. I'm kicking back on my own show, enjoying booze.
yeah, man,
Unless you guys are done.
it's just sad because
Oh God, you would not want me to go ahead.
some of the best parts, for example, for Magic the Gathering, are not in the cards, are on the story, on the novels, and on the comics.
Mhm.
For example, the Brothers' War. The Brothers' War is about a couple of brothers that are slaves that work getting the pieces of an ancient civilization that was really technological. And they stumble upon this power source that corrupts one of them. And from there, you go into different universes. You see universes made out of decaying matter and machines that are just planes made of evil and destruction. It's so goddamn epic. And now it's just Final Fantasy and shit like that. And it's just like,
Yeah,
really, if you want,
they've largely
you,
gone and foregone a lot of their own original IP to be able to put in more sets and more releases that where they can cash in on it. So you can go and get your little secret lair Deadpool card,
I
and
did.
you can like have Deadpool. You can have Patrick Star. Pablo, you're part of the problem, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but
Yes,
okay.
yes, he
Here's
is.
the-
I have said this so many times.
Here's the fun part.
You are the kind of people keeping that thing alive.
One of the guys that actually spent a lot of money on the store where I play went with a Deadpool deck the other day. The Deadpool deck just messes up with your critters. It was so telegraphed that we just didn't play critters and kill him without playing critters. That was it. That's the solution. So even these gimmick cards that are absolutely broken, they can still be beaten by just being normal and playing something else. So
Sure, but that's not the only time they do this. That's you get more and more of this push along. I mean, unfortunately, the sad reality is the sets like the Lord of the Rings expansion were like some of the best releases they had put out. Period.
yes,
These IP cash-ins are absolutely are a success for them, and you better believe the Final Fantasy fans are going to come flocking to pick up these fat packs.
well, they are not called fat packs anymore. That I have.
I know. I was trying to
yeah.
have fun and be a little alliterative.
Okay, but I used to love the fat packs. I used to buy them all the time.
Especially when they came with novels.
Yeah, exactly. They used to come with the novels. They used to come with the story of magic. So you got into that, and you went and bought the other novels, and you went and bought all the comics. And guess what? The comics were absolutely incredible.
I absolutely loved a lot of the settings they put out, like Ravnica and Innistrad are two of my favorite settings they put out. To the point where I bought the D&D Ravnica source book because I wanted to be able to run games in the world of Ravnica. And I could have like adventures with the guild. Not all of it was bad because I mean not everything was Strixhaven with the cafe baristas. Which, yes, to clarify that one. Strixhaven, one of the worst sets they put out, was based on a magic set that was inspired by Harry Potter, in which we could have challenges such as a complex order for our baristas. Your barbarian would like to rage. Well, unfortunately, he has to deal with coffee demons.
Yeah, you are in a universe where there's a card that literally its power is extracting your thoughts alongside with your skeleton and leaving only your flesh hanging out. And it's in the same world as a fucking cafe with yeah.
there's there's a lot of fascinating stuff there that you could do. Like there's a lot of potential with those characters. The Planeswalkers, they were certainly setting up to have story, and in the right set of hands, those characters, that world, which let's be real, it wouldn't be they wouldn't go back to the Brothers War. They would be dealing with like
Yeah,
the
Jason,
modern
everything.
Planeswalkers.
They tried. Disney tried to integrate Magic the Gathering into popular culture in a way that it was doable by movies. I don't know if you remember the Sorcerer Apprentice, that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big Magic the Gathering commercial. That's
2012.
all that is. And people at least knew the brand. Well, no, they fucking know
It was a Nicolas Cage flick.
The worst part, I wanted to buy a box for Spider-Man. I was going to open it here. It's $500. Dude, a box for Spider-Man for the set of Spider-Man is $500. There's no fucking way.
Fuck
There's-
that.
Dude, for 3 boosters, $500? Yeah, fuck you.
It's almost as bad as the 30th anniversary packs they released, where a box with 4 packs of cards was $1,000.
That you could not play, by the way.
No, they were willing to sell you proxies of cards that they have promised for decades they would never reprint. Oh,
But they
technically it's not a
didn't.
reprint; it's a proxy. Like, well, fuck you. Hold up. There's a lot of people who would have loved to have gone and drafted the original set to see what it was like to play Magic in the original release. But they've gone and done this bullshit that deserves mockery. And it finally convinced a lot of people, myself included, to finally say, why am I wasting all this time on and spending money on the cards when Wizards of the Coast has no problem selling you proxies of these cards?
That's
Hell,
why I'm
the few
proxy.
times where I get around to play, it's kitchen table Magic anyway. So what does it matter if I pay the actual money for the card or not?
Well, if I proxy, if I have one of the cards, one of that card, but if I add it in 20 decks, that's well, Wizard doesn't have to know that, so do they?
It depends on where you're using it at.
Is they are damaging something that was way more important than they even believe. Just think how much damage losing Wizards of the Coast did to Diamond.
Well, the bigger issue was there was enough competition coming onto the market. I mean, Disney dropped Lorcana, and say what you will about it, but the Disney Pixie Dusters went gaga for it.
Oh yeah, One Piece is
Yeah, they
doing
go for
fandom.
that on everything.
In
One-
fact, I was just at my shop today.
Mhm.
They cannot keep Pokemon in stock.
Yeah,
While I was there, like at least 3 people called, all looking for Pokemon. And it's not just like scalpers, but like a father and his like kids came in trying to find Pokemon cards. No one can keep it in stock. There is an insane demand for Pokemon cards.
Yeah, it ruined a generation.
dude, and no,
Multiple.
the real issue is that the Pokemon cards, the Magic the Gathering cards, the Yu-Gi-Oh cards are the ones that are keeping the comic book stores alive in the US. If you think about it, the sales for comics, even for the big names on the indies that actually have their issues on perch, even for them, sales are really slow right now. Comic book sales are doing really not that great.
And we all know why.
Yes, we do.
Stores need the money. Stores need something that is working. And dude, right now, I'm
But I
afraid
thought
to
the
say
DC and Marvel were going gangbusters, giving them money to stay alive. You're
Oh,
telling me they've been
yeah.
lying all this time?
Ask Diamond.
No.
Dude, ask Diamond. They will tell you. They had to loan
Just thinking about
you
Diamond
for
Man.
Marvel. They had to loan tens of thousands of dollars for some stores. So they could keep the issues to see if they will sell them. So Diamond maybe could get some money. That also they were losing a lot of money because, well, guess what? They were also paying for the issues. Disney with Marvel and DC, Warner with DC were the only ones that were earning money because they just sell shit. The middleman and the store, well, they got fucked. They got absolutely fucked. And cards and collectibles as such, they really help. But the toy market were absolutely destroyed. Funko is a big part of that, and the death of the franchises is another big part of that. You
I
have
don't respect any man in this world that takes a Funko. Seriously, if you have a Funko, I'm sorry, but you're basically telling everyone that that was a gift from your wife's boyfriend, or your girlfriend's boyfriend, or whatever.
Or your kid.
Look, I got the only one I own is the Cara Dune one, and that's because I figured they would never make it again.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you gotta get
That's
that one
worth
because
money.
they were
That's what I'm
never gonna
saying,
make
yeah.
it again.
Yeah, I got it. I got that one right back. I got the Cara Dune one. That's the only Funko I've ever bought for myself.
I've never bought
have-
one ever. Will never buy one, but I was given one of a Deadpool by my
I'm
kid.
disappointed that you guys are actually admitting that you own these things.
Hey,
I have a-
I'm
I
not
have a
gonna
gun
deny a gift from my child, dude.
We're fucking nerds.
No.
We like
Nick's the only one with an
toys.
excuse because it was a
Toys are
gift from his
fun,
kid.
yeah.
He couldn't say no, but you guys.
You're telling me Gina Carano is not enough of an excuse, and what Disney did to her is not enough of an excuse.
right now,
Okay,
Fenrir,
maybe.
Fenrir is
Exactly,
making me
right.
feel a lot better of being loved by no one because no one has ever given me a Funko. And you know what? Bullet dodged.
All right. Anyways, bring it back a bit. Subhuman A4 says, I can't wait for the Phantom ongoing. I can't either. I know we talked about it really awesomely a few weeks ago. That was a great, unexpected conversation. And I'm excited about that. I am genuinely excited about that. And Deeple asked a great question as well. Simple but great. He says it's dumb, but I say it's a good. So what kind of tape should I use to keep my kind of gift wrapping tape? Regular, good old what's it called? Panasonic tape? Good
Scotch
old
tape.
traditional white tape. Yeah, Scotch tape, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's
I
called.
think the
I'm
Brits
sorry.
call it like cellophane tape.
Cellophane. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. We're easy, low maintenance men like that. We're
In
just
my
like,
country,
as
we
long
just
as
call
the shit
everything a
works,
Scotch.
the shit fucking works, man. That's all that
100%.
matters here. You just
100%.
gotta get your shit taped and you're good. You know, you get it, you got it, you're good. You're very, very good.
That's right.
There's a saying I used to use when I lived in Chirac the second time is that if duct tape is not working, use more duct tape.
That's a fact.
Wise
If
words.
can't fix it, it ain't. If duct tape
Hey,
can't fix it, it
guys, I
ain't broke.
kind of got to drop.
All right, Fenrir. Hey, do you anything you want?
That
Plug?
burger's hitting me well.
All right,
I'm
well, do you
sleepy.
anything you got to plug before you got to pull out?
I actually got a question I gotta make. Hey, fuck. Hey, Molly,
Yes.
you never got back to me on that thing we talked about on Twitter, the DM.
Because I haven't finished it. You were late
Of
for
course.
story time. The only day that I have free, it was because, well, Twitter was not working for me. So I didn't know I had work.
Got
The
it.
rest, okay, here's some good news. There's a chance for a surgery for me. There's something moving forward. I have a date for a consultation, and it's through the system, so I'm not paying shit for that. That's good. The only issue is that once I get the surgery, there will be a couple of weeks that I will not work. That means I need to have money for those weeks because, well, I pay for everything here. because we need electricity and water and shit like that.
Dude, you don't need to explain why you couldn't read. I said it's okay.
No, I'm saying that, dude. Right now, I'm working to be fine. After that, I will have
And I
to
said
work
it's
hard.
okay, dude. You don't need to explain it. I get it. You have a life.
Let me complain. I'm an old man.
I got bills to
Shut up,
pay.
Pablo.
Okay, go on.
Don't worry, brother. I will finish it as soon as I can. I have a couple of things. I will have to read again most of the second chapter because there are some things that I have not. I will tell you later.
That's
Don't
great, but
worry
you
about
know
it.
the saying, never make a black guy wait too long on the question about his mixtape. You know how that goes.
Yeah, I will ask Tupac. Wait.
Yeah. More Biggie, but I also asked Starncastor. He never talked back to that.
I have been
All right.
swamped in work for the last
Fenrir.
3 months.
Get it. No need to explain. I'm not gonna listen to another freaking story. Okay, got it. You know who I am. I'm Fenrir. Go check my stuff. Check my crap. You know what I'm about. Yada yada yada. Freaking follow me everywhere. Give me money. Whatever. Peace. Nick, it was a
Thank-
pleasure.
Thank you,
Ironcaster, you're a
Fenrir.
douchebag. Love you.
You couldn't be any more
But-
honored. Hey,
But
Fenrir,
comment.
have a good weekend, dude. You're
Sorry,
an
not
honorary
Ironcaster. I
American.
meant Common Nerd. Common Nerd is a douchebag. Ironcaster, you're good.
Shut up, no,
Pablo. You're a good friend. All right, then,
Let's
gentlemen.
go.
Love you
Take
all.
care.
Piss off. Have a great time.
Get out of here.
What's up, Void
Peace.
King? It's good to see you in the chat. I like to see you around here, man. How you doing, man? Of course, our friend TZ Burton is here as well. Which, by the way, guys, it's fucking Memorial Day weekend. That's obviously I know Pablo and Fenrir are not from America, but to me, I like to think of them guys like Vince Womack as honorary Americans. So I feel like we should do a little bit of acknowledging for that because comics is an American medium, and I feel like we got to honor comics on Memorial Day weekend since it's an American medium. So why not?
You know me. I
do that
love
with the chat?
freedom. I love tits, and I love burgers. So yeah, I love
Can't get any
America.
more American
Really?
than that. Come on. You're telling me
I
we're
really
going to
thought he was
deny
gonna say
this
dick at
man
some point.
here? All right. Hey, this is the Memorial Day weekend. I'm actually going to be showing my oldest daughter. We're going to be watching The Karate Kid, the first one for the first time ever, along with the first Top Gun.
Nice.
And of course, I got to watch Top Gun Maverick for Toxic Tuesday. So cheers and
Oh, what a tragedy.
beers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Happy Memorial Day week to the fallen.
About 11 years ago, I had left a metal festival in Baltimore. And it was and Baltimore was not far from Washington, D.C. And one of my buddies was like, "Hey, Nick, do you want to go to Washington, D.C.?" I'm like, "Yeah, we should do that. We should go to Washington, D.C." And so we left Baltimore Monday morning after a very memorable Sunday night that I'm not going to go into detail. This is the embodiment of NSFW. Even on YouTube, I'd probably get distributed for this shit on YouTube, so I'm not going to mention it. Maybe I'll mention it for a Rumble exclusive one day what happened the night before. But and let's hope Juggalo Deathcock is not in the chat listening because he absolutely knows about that night. Yeah, I still remember what you did that summer. Anyways, yeah. Fast forward to that Monday morning, we get ready to head out to DC. We parked at the United States Capitol. No bullshit. We parked at the Capitol. I couldn't believe it. My car did not get towed the entire damn day we were there. We went to the obviously the memorials: Thomas Jefferson, Lincoln, World War II Monument. We went to we went in front of the White House by the gate as well. And there's a Memorial Day parade going on. Buzz Aldrin was there. We all gave the Ronnie James Dio horns to Buzz Aldrin, and he broke character from his signature way to doing the horns. And he realized his hand converted to the horns, and he realized what he was doing and changed his hand to turn it back into waving. as he looked at us as he was doing that, which is the biggest, like, holy shit, Buzz Aldrin just acknowledged us in the crowd. We were so fucking stoked now. We're like, dude, Buzz Aldrin. Holy crap, he gave us the horns back. And as soon as we gave the horns to him, the freaking legendary astronaut. And then he realized, like, oh shit, I get back into waving to the crowd. What am I doing here? It was amazing. And I remember while that was happening, I was eating a Tweety Bird ice cream bar. Yes, I remember my ice cream bar during that moment. And dude, driving around Washington, D.C. sucks. Holy shit, it sucks.
Is it worse than
The roads
Chicago?
are the most confusing I've ever seen of any city I've ever been to. Granted, I've only been to like 10 states in the country, but of all the 10 states, granted, they're technically not a state, but that area of this country, of the 10 states around the country I've been to, that's the worst of them all. It ain't even freaking close, man. But hey, it was a great memory, and it was a great way to have a very adult, mature day after a night of not so mature decisions the night before from, well,
Debauchery.
yours truly made some very mature decisions. We'll leave it at that. But it was great. It was awesome. I got dig on my Instagram if I had those old photos because I've lost them to time. Maybe some of my boys who I went with to the White House might still have those photos. But it was cool. Like, hey, we went to the freaking, we went to the White House. It was awesome. It was cool to go to DC and get that experience. Like, I remember, like, just visiting the World War II memorial and seeing the water, seeing the list of the names of the victims who had passed on. It was crazy. It was one of those things where, admittedly, when I used to see those things in movies, let's just say, for example, Forrest Gump, I used to kind of think, oh, okay, cool. It wasn't like something I frowned on, but not something I really got enthusiastic about either. It was just kind of like okay, cool, hey, cool, whatever. But being actually there really changed my perspective on all of it. Like, it definitely shifted my thoughts on all of it. You want to talk about doing a 180? That one day did it for me completely. It's kind of like I used to have friends who kind of like make like edgelord jokes about 9/11. But then the minute that they were actually at Ground Zero in New York City, they never made a joke about it again. Obviously, I wasn't joking about World War II monument. It was just something I kind of just thought, oh, hey, cool. But then all of a sudden, that day, just kind of like, I went from, oh, hey, cool, to, holy shit, this is a very serious thing. So it's crazy how being somewhere changes your perspective on things and how you view it. And it changes your attitude going forward about even though you leave that territory, even though you're there for merely a moment. It's crazy, man. But it was incredible. And going to DC was life changing. And I can't believe I didn't get towed considering I parked at the Capitol of the United States of America. How I didn't get towed is beyond me. I should have had my ass been towed. How did I not get towed? How? I don't know. How? I didn't get it. But our drive back to Illinois was scary. We got lost in Virginia, and I saw some big giant sign that said Cabin John, and I got freaked out. It was scary. I'm like, Cabin John! Yeah, it was scary. 3 a.m., there's a sign that says Cabin John. You don't know what shit's at the Cabin John. That's a scary thought. Cabin John. I'm on a tangent here. So these guys are just like, I don't know where Nick's going with all this, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm just telling you my life experience.
So, speaking of experiences,
yes,
you just recently watched something for Toxic Tuesday with this within the past week or two that I'm surprised you hadn't seen before.
Young Guns 2.
Before that,
Kung Pao.
I'd
I'd seen
one of my
Kung Pao.
favorites.
I'd seen Kung Pao.
Oh, really?
Mark D with a C hadn't seen it. I had seen it since way back. Oh, I'd seen it, dude. Between that, Grandma's Boy, those are movies I practically spent a lot of my Kung Pao for me is 8th grade. Grandma's Boy was my junior year. I'd grown up with those movies, man. Both of them.
I saw Kung Pao opening night in theaters.
I envy you
That
so
one-
much.
Did you really?
I did. I was ahead of the curve on that one. I
You know,
I think
Good for you, man.
I think I like dragged my grandfather to watch it, and he didn't get it. But it's like this is the funniest movie ever.
Dude, it's incredible. It's incredible, dude. I
face
was.
the foot style. How you
How
like
do
it?
you like it? Oh, I know, right? Dude,
believe
it's
making me the winner.
it was cool because doing that movie was like a real test. Like you got to really love the medium of movies to talk about a movie like that. And not many people know it, but for those who know, they know. And it was great to have that show be Toxic Tuesday. I had people thanking me in the chat. Dude, thank you for doing this movie. Not everyone knows this movie, but I freaking know this. And it was cool to see that type of enthusiasm because it really is one of those movies. And it holds up. It's funny as shit. And I remember I was so thrown off by how it was the very first time I had ever seen it. I was so blind. I actually thought it was going to be a serious kung fu movie. I was so sure on that the same way I had a classmate who I went to class with at Lincoln Tech who thought watching Brokeback Mountain for his first time was going to be a straight Cowboys movie. I'm not joking, by the way, either. That was his
He
life
became a man
experience.
that day.
He's like, hey, guys, you heard of that movie Brokeback Mountain? I'm like, yeah, why are you bringing it up? He's like, man, I didn't know I was going to be watching some gay shit. Yeah, and
Dude, I had
I
a
was
buddy of
like,
mine
dude,
once-
did you not like figure out the name? He's like, no, man, I was just kicking at the crib with my wife. I'm like, oh, let's watch a movie, honey. And all of a sudden we put up Brokeback Mountain. I'm like, oh, whoa, what's up? I was like, really? How did
That's
you
fucked.
not know?
Talk about being completely out of the loop.
I
Holy
know.
cow.
Life,
fucking
hey,
Matt
that was
Morgan
like
slid
going
into
to
the
trade
picture.
school. That was going to trade school in Chirac or right next to Chirac. That's what that was like.
That's so funny.
What's up, Kingsport Cal and Comic Relief Crusader? Good to see you, gentlemen. You came here at a great part. Am I late? No. Now we're just having fun. We've been talking between regular shit and comic shit, kind of bouncing around between the two throughout the night. It's been a very interesting stream, man. I've been drinking too, that's for sure.
Yeah, it makes things so much better.
No, dude. Someone's like, "Oh, you talk really fast." I'm like, I actually did not notice. Have I? I guess I have been. Well, my caffeine must really be really working tonight. So that's good. That's very good.
Hey,
I like when my
Comic
caffeine.
Relief Crusader. I had pineapple on pizza tonight for dinner.
I
Yeah,
nearly
Domino's new
pineapple
stuffed
on pizza
crust.
tonight.
Ugh.
Wait,
I don't know.
Jesse,
I think that's
Domino's
actually
new
probably
stuffed crust is good though.
Jesse.
for Domino's.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like I don't know, Domino's new recipe is really good. The one down here is really good.
You need to come to
Domino's.
Chicago and have a
I
tavern.
miss
It's way
Domino's.
better.
I've had really good pizza. I just like, hey man, it's like 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't doubt that for a minute.
Thank you, Comic Relief Crusader. That's right, buddy. Hell yeah. Leave it to the Canadian to fucking agree with me.
It's just I don't even have once again I still don't have a polarizing take on pineapple on pizza. It's just there for me. There's nothing great about it, but there's nothing wonderful about it either. It's just there.
Another topping.
I probably like make both sides of that discussion not pleased because I don't care. I've had it. I don't necessarily like it, but I don't find the polarization either. To me, when I hear it like in the sweetness, I'm like, if I want to have sweetness, I'll just have a Neapolitan pizza because the sauce is naturally sweeter on Neapolitan. So that's just where it is. It's just there's no hatred. It's actually probably genuine apathy. Believe it or not, though, I don't like ham on pizza. I love ham, but I don't like ham on pizza. Love ham though, man. Ham, glazed ham, bro. Especially on Thanksgiving, Christmas time, bro. I'm gonna
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
live in that shit. I'm gonna move in, and I'm not gonna pay rent. I'm gonna keep eating up that ham and not paying that rent. It's wonderful. It's fucking wonderful how good that ham is. I love good ham too. When ham is really good, bro, dude. Oh man, I like me a good ham. Just saying, dudes. Oh man, I like my alcohol tonight.
Same. Cheers, Nick.
Mhm. Ah. By the way, Caster, I mentioned earlier in the private chat between the group, if you haven't, dude, make sure that you read Zaylen from Chuck Dixon, Joe Bennett. It was fucking good. And the art is easily like Joe Bennett like kicked it up an extra level with the art. This is basically him like going full on cosmic space, and it's so fucking good, dude. Story's like a nice, simple, straightforward story, but and I like it. But Joe Bennett really like he did some eye candy that is like, bro, what the fuck, man? Just saying. Oh, like it is just some shit that made me want to reach around and just grab that art. And I wanted to. But
So admittedly, I'm a bit behind on some of the Riververse books.
yeah.
Like I think I still don't think I actually ordered Yaira 2 yet,
Okay.
which I do need to. But I figure once my like summer bonus kicks in, I'll be able to just go ahead and do a big old buy on some stuff there.
Do the hero stash while you're at it too. That way you
Okay.
can save it for shipping prices
Oh,
too.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's another thing. Dude, I have a stash fully on the hero stash. Nick is starting to mellow. Me starting to mellow? Nah, dude. I'm not starting to mellow. I've got a lot of gas in the tank left. I still got a whole lot of engine to rev, man. I'm still
Giggity.
kicking and screaming, and it's gonna be diabolically huge. Diabolically. What about spam pizza? I say I don't like pork on pizza either. Like spam's fine. Okay, it's like okay, it's fine. But regular pulled pork though, oh hell yeah, bitch. But
Dude, pulled pork on a pizza is pretty fucking good. Some of them barbecue.
see, I
ones do
never
a
really
pretty
liked
good
it
job.
on that. Like I thought I would like it, but
Yeah.
then again, I was disappointed by how much I didn't like meatball and pizza, and I thought I was going to love that. Then my life happened, and I was like, oh fuck, come on.
Meatball's an interesting choice.
I
You'd have
thought
to
it was gonna be
slice them.
amazing. I thought it was gonna rule so hard,
Yeah, it
and then
kind
I
of.
had it, and I was just like.
Okay,
Nah.
here is the issue. Meat holds a lot of moisture, and when you bake it, it will release all that moisture. So you will have a bit of soggy dough. The it will it will not feel like meatloaf. That is the consistency that you will expect on a piece of meat baked, a piece of ground meat baked. No, it becomes a bit more soggy. It's not perfect for pizza. It's better for other things. But if you have sausage meat that just in small bits is absolutely great because it will release all that fat and do soils with mix all that flavor into the cheese and into the bread, and it just becomes heavenly. So it's not that they are using ground meat as meatballs and that's it. Is that they are using it wrong. You need to make so the moisture don't affect the quality of the pizza overall, and that's the same thing with for me at least. For pineapple, it releases too much moisture, it messes too much with the combination of flavors, it adds too much acidity at points, and also takes out some of the good flavor of the tomato, because tomato is not just acid, it's also full of other flavors that pineapple just disappear. So it changes pizza. I don't say is unforgivable, it takes away things that are more oily, like pepperoni, that goes really good on pizza, or some other cured meats. Ham, I can see why not, because Americans do some weird things with ham. But if you had good slices of just bacon, it goes heavenly on pizza because it releases all that fat and it adds all that flavor. I miss pizza so much, man.
I'm gonna have pizza tomorrow with my children. I
Man,
already told them we're gonna order a pizza for Saturday night's main event. We're gonna order pizza. It's gonna be diabolically huge. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to eat some pizza. I'm gonna order a huge pie too. Like probably I think we're going 18 or 20 inch on the Chicago Tavern pie. It's gonna be great. Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited to have pizza. But Caster is gonna pull out, and gentlemen,
Oh no.
we're
We still
gonna
love you, Caster.
after Caster pulls out, probably go about 20 more minutes, and then we'll wrap up our announcement. Caster, what do you got coming out your way, dude?
That's a really good fucking question. At the very least, Monday nights over my channel for the Mech Pit Chat, where we talk big robots and we kind of, have a little fun dabbling into all sorts of nerdy goodness. A little bit more of what we do here, but we can, spend a little more time talking tabletop or maybe, miniatures, etc., stuff like that. There's plenty of giant robot anime goodness going on right now. Some Gundam, so maybe we'll hit on that for a bit. But aside from that, hopefully tomorrow I'll be on for t-shirt historians for the Week in Geek, where I believe we have a special guest coming on.
Ooh.
Might be on this panel. Who we're referring to? Why, you'll just have to tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern to wait and find out.
nice.
But guys, until then, I'll see you guys later, and I'll see you tomorrow, Jesse.
I'm like, wait, what? I'm doing
Oh, whoa!
I always tell everybody you got to remind me the day before. I don't remember.
Well, it's still the day before, so
What time is that?
5 p.m. Eastern.
So 4:00. Okay. Hopefully I remember. Do they have my new Twitter account, or are you going to send me the link?
I will send you the link. I will make sure you get that provided.
Okay, cool. Well, good to know. I'm glad I know now.
Wow. Amazing. Well,
No,
Caster.
never pull out, TZ Burton. Never pull out. We are facing a population crisis. Damn it.
You are
Look,
solving it, Jesse. You are solving
Guys,
it.
I'm doing
you've
what I
all
can.
got to look at things with more rosy glasses on. This is the best gag ever, and you guys got to admit it.
Yeah. All right, Caster,
Guys,
I'll let you go.
Good to see you, buddy.
Take care,
send you guys my love. Everyone out there in the chat, take care. Keep reading some comics. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. And what's up, Justin? Mr. Belmont, sir. I see you in our chat. Nice to see you here hanging out with the dudes. I'd love to see that shit. I really do love to see that shit. Speaking of
see it hanging out.
Yeah, I do love to see it hanging out. I know I'm expecting Mythicals 3 in the mail as well as far as shipping goes.
I got mine last week.
I can't wait to get mine and read it. It's gonna be huge.
Good shit.
Diabolically huge. Nah, for real. It's gonna be huge.
The art's so good. The art's just so good.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I know he's got a different artist this time around too. So I can't wait. I'm stoked on it.
Oh, yeah.
I am genuinely stoked on that shite. It's like, bro. Oh, I'm excited. No, it's a good time to be into a lot of these books, man. I haven't read Drunk 3PO's book. I have heard that it's good. I haven't read it. Someday I will. Someday I will. I'm sure it is. I haven't read it. But sometime between now and forever, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be diabolically huge, as I like to say all the time. And I'm looking for the future, man. It makes me feel good when I have this shite to look forward to and just get all giddy and excited about. He got blue. It's good. He got the blue. He got the green. I can't wait for the Achromatic Chronicles brown. Oh, that doesn't sound like an exciting title. Like blue and green, that sounds cool. Like for a title, can you imagine? Like, yeah, I can't wait to read Achromatic Chronicles brown. Like,
Yeah.
ugh, get
Well,
away from me. You must be a
brown-
Fed from January 6th. What the fuck?
Brown or
That's gonna be-
yellow.
That one's gonna star the Mexican kid.
Dude, brown and yellow are not great colors for that series.
No, the yellow one's gonna be the Asian kid. It's gonna be
See,
based on
yellow
Pablo's
can
as a
work
child.
depending on the context. Yellow can't. It's not a go-to, but it can work. But brown, that's like trying to say the Cleveland Browns or the Browns at the Super Bowl, if you know what I mean.
I'm
Like,
going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
yeah, there's just nothing you can say about that shit. No pun intended. What's up, Peter Fakeman fans? Void King asks, Nick, your thoughts on the new remix of Rock-a-Rolla by Judas Priest? I have not heard it. And really, I don't here's the thing. If I hear it, I'm probably not gonna like it. Now, if it's a remaster, just a straight remaster, I might accept that. But I've never heard a remix of something based on something I've already heard that I've liked. Not one. There's no exception to the rule. Every time that a band I love remixes something I enjoy, I've always absolutely not been a fan. But remaster, I've heard some great remasters in my life. But remixing, bro, as much as I love Megadeth, if I could sue Dave Mustaine for one thing, it's for the blasphemy of the fact that he remastered and he remixed his first few albums. And the remix parts are absolutely insulting to the original parts from some of the albums, like
You say
Rust
that.
in Peace and Killing Is My Business. Some of the shit that was remixed, insanity. Absolutely insane. Someone needs to be sued for that shit. That shit was fucking crazy, man.
Dude,
fucking crazy. I'm not.
wanna hear?
Don't get me started.
Yeah, wanna
I'm
hear?
still mad about a decade and a half later.
Okay, wanna hear somebody that actually destroyed his own music because, well, he kind of hated it. David Bowie with The Man Who Sold the World. The fact is that he hated it because of the unplug that Kurt Cobain did. That basically made that everybody think that he was the owner of the song. He was the creator of the song. No, it was David Bowie. So
Yeah.
David Bowie
Well-
makes this new version of The Man Who Sold the World that this ass is shit, is garbage, and the original is my favorite song of all time. So it just so happened that sometimes musicians don't know when not to shit their own work. They just, I don't know why.
Maybe I would appreciate a remix if I had heard the remix version first versus the original, and that's a maybe. I don't know. I've never had that moment in my life happening yet, so I don't have anything to base it off of. But like, I'll put it this way: if you guys want a good reference of my argument, look up the song from Megadeth, "Take No Prisoners." Look up original mix of "Take No Prisoners," and then "Take No Prisoners" remaster. And there's this part with the backing vocals. They changed the backing vocals, and I fucking hate it. Oh, oh man. Got one chance. Infiltrate them. That was the original part. And then they changed it into the remix. Got one chance. Infiltrate them. I'm like, what? You're trying to make Optimus Prime included in that shit? Bro, I like Optimus Prime, but do not make him sing in that song.
Yeah, I know about that. Goddamn, it's exactly the same that Nightwish did after they kicked the original singer. That they made these new versions with the new singer and some like fucking shit.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all.
God damn.
The new singer's good for the songs she does, but trying to go back
Which
and do the
singer?
stuff they
Because
did
they've
with the
had
old
like three or
chick is.
four female singers.
Oh, at this point,
Oh, I
yeah,
only
they
know of
have
two.
several, but they just have
Wow.
changed for the first time the singer, and they were just trying to re-release the songs with the new voice, and the new voice was shit. Sorry, was shit.
No, no, you're good, man. You're good.
Understandable.
And fucking sane. Yeah, one day, I'm gonna have extra time on my hands. I'm gonna do a video on why this should not be an accepted thing. This
Yeah,
remixing format, and
Yeah.
it's gonna, there's gonna be someone who's gonna discover me. Let's just say who likes Megadeth, and they're gonna think I hate Megadeth because that's gonna be their first video of me, not realizing I've talked very fondly of them 900,000 times over. But I have to include them because they're one of the most relevant examples of that. And Vince says, "What do you think of the GI Joe Suncoat they got rid?" Well, here's the thing, Vince. If you look at GI Joe, a real American hero, the classic logo is still there. Classic logo is still there, but for GI Joe Energon Universe, they don't have it. I don't think it was actually on the previous issues either. To be fair, I feel like, yeah, actually, I just saw a cover for the trade paperback #1. Yeah, if you look at all 6 covers for the first 6 issues, it's just the GI Joe lettering. It's only on a real American hero, and they probably did that to differentiate so people know which one is which, because a real American hero still has the red, white, and blue, which is fine. When it's titled a real American hero, and you have the red, white, and blue there, you want to have people understand, sometimes you got to spell it out for people. That's fine. I can forgive that. I wouldn't even call it forgive it. It's more of a, I understand why they did that. Because I know I'll know because I pay attention to shit that most people don't care about. But I know a lot of people go, I don't get it. Void King. If you want to keep remix out, keep the original. Dude, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of those death albums work, because they didn't change the parts of the songs. They just made the production in it like a lot beefier. And I'm good with that. If you're make it, it's like one of those things. It's like when you're hearing the songs for the first time, ... again, rather than changing up parts of the song, swapping out vocal parts, or changing a solo. I think for all the problems I had with Death's management putting out those albums posthumously on Chuck Schuldner's behalf, whether it was for or against, that's a debate for another day. At least those remasters sound good. I will happily give credit where it's due. But
There's an acceptable way to do a remix of a song, and I think maybe the only person that has been sane enough to do it is Franz Ferdinand, that has this fire, and in the second disc that came in the same album comes this fire. That is the remix, and the remix is actually better. But
wow.
it has the 2 versions, so you choose whichever you want, and it was intended that way. If 20 years later you decide that your song needed an extra chord and that's why you are fucking up everything,
Mhm.
well, I like the old one better, and I don't have to buy a new album for that one, so good job. Yeah,
Oh.
the fun part of buying a new album is you have some new versions of the song, but they are normally live versions and such. Some studios are acceptable, okay, but also you get a full new album. That is
Uh-huh.
great.
Mhm.
You have new toys. You may find your new favorite song. no, there's a lot of these remix albums that I don't get. For Iron Maiden is making me really really mad because the whole album is amazing. The case that it comes, it looks, it's a piece of decoration for your house. It's something that you can show with pride. It's exactly the same that I have bought 20 times already, man.
Hi, Andy.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah, I'm man. I gotta not think about it, otherwise I'm gonna start getting angry, and I don't want to get angry on this show. I actually do enjoy my time, and I value our chat's time, and I like that we have held the majority of our audience the entire time for 2 hours and 50 minutes. I love to see that shit. Thank you, by the way, chat.
yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Deeple, thank you for the series of Rumble rants. Mock any draws for the super sticker and D-Bud with the huge super chat. But gentlemen, this is the part we're gonna call tonight, wrap it up. Okay. Keep your eyes and ears out. Maybe I'm gonna get some videos out finally. I've been off not having the time that I want to do videos, but it's gonna open back up. And of course, next week, Toxic Tuesday, talking Top Gun Maverick post Memorial Day, gonna be killer, absolutely killer. And of course, Clobby's Comic Shop, it's gonna be great. That's what's coming up on my channel. And of course, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Comics Division Thursday Night Throwdown, which, speaking of Mead, we'll be talking real Star Wars Sunday night for the tier list. Yes, we are going to be ranking the Star Wars movies on the tier list this Sunday night. So please come check it out. It's going to be huge. It's going to be diabolical. I appreciate all of you all having your time to hang out with us. Give us your enthusiasm, your questions, your engagement. It's wonderful. Fucking love it. And once again, guys, thank you for hanging out this Friday night. There's lots of shows to do. There's lots of real life things to do. And you chose to spend your time with us. And the fact that most of you stuck around the majority of the time, fuck, we're so damn lucky. Thank you, guys. Seriously. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I appreciate it. That's why I will not help myself in acknowledging it over and over and over again. But we're going to let these gentlemen plug their plugs on the way out. We'll let Pablo plug his plug first. Well, so Pablo, plug out.
Hey, more videos coming to Midnight's Edge unless Twitter decides that I don't have to. Then, well, I don't know. Also, I'm doing a show with my best friend for Midnight's Edge Español called La Tangente. That means the tangent, and we just talk about random shit. Last time we talked about villains in anime. Next week we are going with some random topic because my best friend decided that he was dying and Medicare is way cheaper in my country, so he took a flight, an emergency quote unquote flight to my country, so he could die here. He just needed an aspirin, and also it's a holiday, so he's spending the holiday with his daughter. Sorry, you're not fooling anybody. You were not. You just wanted to have a vacation. Great, have a vacation. That's my best friend. Sometimes he calls, he says, I'm dying. I'm like, okay, what is it this time? Did you hurt your big toe? God damn it. So he's here. We will think about something to talk on the show. It will be fun. It's always fun. For some reason, we end up fighting about some random shit like the meaning of the Wii U.
Nice.
So that's it, guys. Today was quite relaxing. I will admit it was great venting a bit out on Magic the Gathering and talking good comics. So yeah, as always, it was great being here.
No, thanks for being here, man. Great to have you. Great. We got to talk some Huck this week to make up for last week. I'm excited for Huck Big Bad World issue 2 in the future. It's going to be diabolically huge. And if you haven't, Pablo, make sure you read Battle Beast because it's fucking awesome too. Common Nerd. Dude,
Yes.
plug your plug on the way out, sir.
Absolutely. Are they doing? Is the plan to do Huck once a month, or is it just going to be?
Yes, we're
Okay.
talking about every month an issue comes out. Oh,
Good.
we're not
Excellent.
gonna not do it.
Good. I'm glad to hear that then. But yeah, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I am almost to 2K on the new YouTube channel. So please
Woo!
come subscribe if you haven't already. We're like 48 away from that. So getting closer and closer to getting back over to those numbers. So please come check that out. Click the link, double check to make sure you're subscribed already if you haven't already. Or just click the link and double check to make sure you're subscribed. Still. And let's see here. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be doing it when Who Was Good with Sunker Maiden and Mr. Grant Gregory. Tomorrow night, Sunday Bible study at 2 p.m. And then probably Monday through Friday is normally 11 a.m. the morning prep. But since it's Memorial Day, we'll probably play video games all day Monday. So keep an eye out for that. Had put out 2 new videos today. Got another one coming out tomorrow. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's a civil war going on over the heart of the X-Men and the future of it inside of the MCU between Bob Iger and Kevin Feige. So if you want all the details on that, go check out the video that I just dropped this evening at 6 o'clock. That was a really good time. As always, it's a blast hanging out with all of my wonderful friends here on this stream and all of you fabulous folks out there in the chat as well. Can't wait for next week and cannot wait for more Hook. That first issue was, heart-wrenching, but really good. If you haven't read it already, I highly, highly recommend it. So I'm super excited to see where else we get to go with Hook. So yeah, can't wait for that. Be a blast. It's gonna be huge.
Awesome. Great to hear from that, Mr. Common Nerd. Thank you as well for being here. And thank you, chat, for being here. Always great to once again have you dudes here. Chat, guys, have a great night. Have a great weekend, extended weekend if you have that. Happy Memorial Day. I hope to see a lot of you again soon. Comic Relief, please come guest with us. How about that? Just come guest with us, man. I'd love to fucking have you again. Let's talk about it through the weekend, okay? All right, chat. We're getting the hell out of here. Goodbye. Good fight. Good night.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell